Hello, Kenyan Christians. Politics affects your life, whether you like it or not. What should you do? As Christians, we know that the Bible alone is God's word. Everything it says is true, right, and just. But there are at least three big problems. Number one, it's silent on most political issues. Number two, how do we interpret it for politics? It's a complicated book, written in multiple genres, set in different historical moments. Number three, it's our book, not theirs, non-Christians. So, can we really impose its truth claims on unbelievers? How do we read our Bible politically? We must always approach politics and government remembering who we are in the gospel first and foremost. Christ's people are to follow Christ in every area of life, including in their capacity as voters, office holders, lobbyists, editorial writers, jurists, citizens. How do we read our Bibles politically? Submit to government, work for its good, but remember that it is temporary and that eternal things must always guide our approach to the temporary things. All political activity is fundamentally spiritual. Behind every act is someone's basic worldview of how things ought to be, and behind that worldview is nothing other than a God. Enable citizens of any nation or members of any party to see their national or party affiliation not so much as identities but as instruments. It is when a nation or party becomes your identity that you risk veering into idolatry. Some of us have political hopes that are nearly messianic. The next presidential administration will finally deliver what this country really needs. Read the book of Ecclesiastes and you will discover that any good to be accomplished will soon be undone by history. Where an older generation of Christians may have fought to take back the country for God, a younger generation winces with embarrassment by these Bible-in-hand incursions. Some Christians say the church's job is to help transform the culture, which includes working in the political sphere. Other Christians prefer to keep the church spiritual and out of politics. Honestly, you may or may not make a difference out there. Society may get better, it may get worse, regardless of the activities of faithful Christians. That is outside of your control and mine. What is within our control is whether or not we seek justice, love of our neighbor, and do both of these things wisely, not foolishly. On the last day, God will not ask you, "Did you produce change?" but "Did you faithfully love your neighbor and pursue justice in those places where I gave you authority?" Jesus commands us to love God and love our neighbor. One way for us to do that is to work for justice, for the sake of love and justice. Use whatever opportunities, responsibilities, calling, and stewardship God has given you to that end. These are excerpts from What Christians Should Do for Government, Love Your Nation, People, or Tribe, from 9Mark's website. The highest, fullest, deepest, sweetest good of the gospel is God Himself, enjoyed by His redeemed people. The gospel is the good news that God bought for us the everlasting enjoyment of God, from the Desiring God website. Thank you for watching. Bye.